What is up, guys? It is Pup, your coach, the Green Bay Drillers, and today we have week 3 of the APL Storm Draft League. Today we are facing one of our arch rivals, Aaron. They beat us twice in the Zero Zone Draft League, once in regular season, once in the playoffs. It was all down to hacks. I mean, not really. They played great. They're a great player. Definitely got me in Zero Zone from the hacks, though, so I mean, gotta get my revenge here. So if you guys are definitely excited for this battle, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to skip straight to it, even though I would not recommend that one bit, you can click the whatever. There should be a link in the description. There should be a timestamp, whatever. You can skip right to the battle, but I would appreciate it if you stayed and watched through this team builder so you really know what's going on. We are going to start off with going over our teams. I made a couple transactions, so my team's going to look a little bit different. So on my team now, I guess I'll just go through the whole thing. We have the Terra Latias, we have Scizor, now we have Terra on Pecharunt, we have Rabombi, Crocodile, Inteleon, King Gambit, Bellybolt, Terrakion, Typhlosion, and Munchlax. So no more Tinkaton. I wasn't really doing everything that I wanted it to. We still have the double steals with King Gambit, but we have a good fairy with a great speed tier in Rabombi. Add some webs options to our team so we don't always have to run like Choice Scarf on Typhlosion or on the Terrakion. Bellybolt is also really good on this team as a more bulky pivot, which it will make an appearance today. I just thought it was a little bit better than Thundurus, even though Thundurus put in the most work last week. Funny thing about me and Aaron in this league, we've played the exact same opponents so far. So I played Lonely Lit in week 1, and they played Lonely Lit in week 2. I played Indirect Swing on week 2, they played Indirect Swing week 1. We both won versus Swing. We both lost versus Litten. So we get to see who's the better battler with the better team this week. But without further ado, go over their team. Even though I already went over mine, whatever. Kind of forgot about theirs. But they have Iron Valiant, they have Mew, Gengar, Alomomola, Snorlax, Terra Kilowattrel, Terra Regidrago, Excadrill, and the Grimmsnarl. So they said that they kind of took my idea for Iron Valiant, Kilo and Regidrago from GWA, which I mean, much love for that. But it's very, very scary in this matchup. Booster Iron Valiant can wreck my team in some situations. Regidrago is just completely free. Because of not having Tinkaton anymore, Regidrago just kind of destroys my team. Of course, we do have Scizor that can probably take hits. We have the Regidrago. I mean, they have Regidrago. We have the King Gambit that can probably eat some hits. And we have Rabombi, so they can't just click Dragon Energy all the time. But Rabombi's literally paper thin and will die in one hit anyways. So it's going to be tough to deal with that thing. I am expecting definitely Iron Valiant, Regidrago, probably Excadrill, and Alomomola look really good into my team. And then I would assume that maybe Gengar and Snorlax come as well, although the other 3 options on their team are definitely good into my team as well. So let's go right into what I'm bringing. We got the Pecharunt, I swear he's there, but we have a Choice Scarf set with Malignant Chain, Hex, Parting Shot, and Terra Blast with Terra Ground. This thing is running max speed and max special attack, has the exact same base speed as Excadrill, so we can just Terra Blast ground it. Especially if we lead straight into it, we just Terra Blast ground and we one-shot that on the first turn. Would be an amazing start to the battle. They only have 1 immunity to ground, which is that Kilowattrel that can probably just Terra anyways. So I feel like this is going to be a really good bring. Malignant Chain is also really free into their team. It does great work in dealing a lot of damage to Iron Valiant. If I get a Toxic off on Regidrago, then I'll be feeling really good about myself. Same for Alomomola. And even I can get Toxic on Mew, and it cannot poison me back with Synchronize, which is amazing. Parting Shot is also really good on this set to make sure I can switch out and get some momentum. And then Hex is really there for the Gengar, but it also does good work into Mew. In the second slot, we have Scizor, and I think that Scizor is really important for this. We are rocking a Choice Banded set because I want to do a lot of damage. So this thing destroys Iron Valiant with Choice Banded Bullet Punch. Choice Banded Bullet Punch is actually pretty free into their team, depending on their Terra types and what kind of Excadrill set they're running. We also have U-Turn, Close Combat Knockoff, Close combat is really good because that Snorlax is a huge threat for the rest of my team, and knockoff, I can always click knockoff into their team and nothing wants to take it. Maybe the Iron Valiant, but when would they actually switch that in? So we're just rocking max attack and max HP with a little bit of speed. They have Aloe at base 65, so I'm just running a little bit to make sure I speed creep that thing. In the 3 slot, we have our Latias. Rocking Terra Fairy on this thing, although I don't expect to Terra it. It's not really my first option because that is the Pecharunt. But we have a weakness policy set today with weakness policy, Alluring Voice, Mist Ball, or Sphere, and Agility on 121 HP, 252 special attack, modest, and 128 speed. This speed will make sure we outspeed. We'll obviously outspeed a Booster Valiant, but we also outrun a Scarfed Kilowattrel if they do end up bringing that after our agility. And we can always eat one hit from any sort of Iron Valiant if it's not like super boosting. So if they're running like a speed boost booster energy set or a Choice Scarf, then we'll always eat like a Moonblast, we'll always eat knockoff, we'll always eat Spirit Break, unless they're like adamant nature, then we don't eat Spirit Break. But we eat all hits from like special. Even if they're modest, we eat hits from special. And then we get our weakness policy activated. We agility up and we just go sweep through their team. They can't even revenge kill me with the vacuum wave because we will resist it. We have Terra Fairy on this thing. It'll boost our Alluring Voice, but that's not really the best use of it. It's really just to stop Regidrago from clicking buttons on my team because I am not bringing Rabombi and my Scizor is not really defensive at all. So it's going to be really tough to take those Dragon Energies from that Pokemon. Once I get Snorlax chipped down, you know, say about 50% HP, then our +2 Aura Sphere will knock that thing out. We also have to chip that Grimmsnarl or just knock it out so it can't Thunder Wave me or set up a light screen, which would be really detrimental for this game plan here. But I don't think Grimmsnarl matches up very well into my team with double steel types. I've got Rabombi on there. I have other things that take care of it pretty well. So I think Grimmsnarl stays at home this week, hopefully. Next up, we have the King Gambit, rocking an Assault Vest set with Kowtow, Cleave, Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Low Kick. Low Kick's there for Snorlax. Kowtow is really good stab, same with Iron Head, and Sucker Punch can chip. I mean, not really chip, it just picks stuff off, to be honest. This thing can wall a Gengar that's not running Focus Blast. Obviously, it should run Focus Blast, but pretty sure we can live one of those no matter what, which is really nice. So into this King Gambit, Focus Blast, I mean, it has a chance, depending on what kind of spread they are, to knock us out, but most of the time we should be living this. And we can also eat hits from the Kilowattrel, which is scary into like the rest of our team, especially if they're like some Terra Ground variant. It's going to be scary, but if they're any other Terra type, then we should be able to do pretty well with King Gambit and one of the other Pokemon on our team into walling that thing. In the 5, we have Inteleon. And I mean, I just love Inteleon. Look at him. He looks so cool with this little cape. Ugh, I guess I cannot talk today. But nonetheless, we're rocking another Scope Lens Sniper set with Snipe Shot, which even does great damage into the Alomomola, because they should run Fizz Def in this matchup. I have U-Turn on this thing, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse. So we can do just a lot of damage. We'll outspeed most things on their team except for the Kilowattrel, and just be able to chunk stuff. We can see if stuff is Choice Scarfed, which I'm assuming that they'll at least bring one Choice Scarfer. I think Regidrago Choice Scarf looks great into my team. I also think that they could run Choice Scarf on the Iron Valiant so that they can bring it in multiple times. They could run Choice Scarf on that Gengar also, which is pretty nasty into my team. But I hit super duper hard with Inteleon. That's going to be able to whittle down their team. Hopefully whittle down their switch-ins like that Snorlax and the Alomomola so my other members can put in some work. And then last, we have Bellibolt with a Shucka Berry, physically defensive set, static with Slack Off, Toxic, Volt Switch, Muddy Water. Bellibolt can always eat 2 hits from the Iron Valiant, so at the very least I can like get Toxic off on it, I can Volt Switch and get some chip. If they're physical and hit close combat into me, then there's a good chance that they get static poisoned. Static poison. Static paralyzed, and then we can either hit them with the Volt Switch, which will destroy them after their close combat drops, or if they don't get that static, then I can poison them, make sure they can't really set up Calm Minds, and be able to sweep my team. Muddy Water is here into the Excadrill. It should be able to two-shot them if they are like the normal offensive set. It also does pretty good damage into Kilowattrel because we cannot hit it with the Volt Switch if they are running the Volt Absorb. So that's going to be about it for my team. Definitely a scary battle and one that I really want to win. Maybe not as much as some of the other games that I have going on, but this definitely is taking up a lot of my time because I want to get my revenge on Aaron. Got to prove that his 2 wins were actually a fluke. So that's about it for the team builder. See you guys in the battle. All right, here we are against Aaron, our arch rival, and I see no Regidrago. So honestly, that makes me feel really good. Kilowattrel is a little bit of an issue though. They have Terra Water on that thing, which is actually not horrible. I mean, it means the Belly Bolt can't do too much. I mean, I can Toxic. Other Terra Cap. Let me get it off the top of my head. Let me actually just pull up my sheet just so I know what's actually going on. 1 second. Yeah, but no Regidrago is awesome. It means the Terra Fairy isn't really needed. No Grimmsnarl is also really good. No Gengar. Oh yeah, Regidrago is the other one. I'm just being stupid. So I mean, I feel like my lead here is going to be Pecharunt. And it leads really well into either the Excadrill, which I should be able to Oko with Terra Blast. I mean, not if they're Air Balloon, like this calc is suggesting. But if they're no Air Balloon, I mean, I'm still going to do a lot. I'm not going to Oko, but I'm going to do a million. If they lead with a Mew, on the other hand, I mean, it's probably not too bad anyways. I mean, we can just hit him with a Hard Hex, or we can just Parting Shot out. I could also lead with Scizor, which, I mean, doesn't have great switch-ins on their team at all. So, I mean, I could even lead with Inteleon, but that doesn't do very well into Kilowattrel. So I'm going to lead Pecharunt. So they go Mew, which is fine. Do I want to reveal my Scarf? Potentially. Depending on what kind of set they are, I could 2KO them, but probably not. I could just click Malignant Chain and hope for a Poison. Or I could Parting Shot out, which I kind of like Parting Shot a little bit better. I don't have Hazard Removal, which is annoying for this. I think we just Parting Shot. They go Snorlax, so they don't even see my Scarf. I think I'm just going to go into Scizor and just click Choice Banded. Do I go Knockoff or Close Combat? Not 100% sure. Okay. Definitely has me nervous right now. I wonder if their immunity... I mean, they have to be the first switch in there. I feel like U-Turn is probably the best option, so I'm going to go for that. They switch out into Aloe, which is great for me. And I could go into my Belly Bolt. They do reveal to be Rocky Helmet, which I kind of did expect. I will go Belly Bolt. So if they Toxic into my into the Mew, it would be really annoying. So I'm just gonna Volt Switch. They could go Kilowattrel. They could also just go Snorlax. They just Protect. I'm gonna throw off I could Muddy Water here. I feel like that's a good play. It'll catch Kilowattrel. It'll hit anything except for this. They do go Excadrill. Come on, hit, please. Awesome. That's a good turn for me. And I have the Shuka, so I'll always live another hit. That's a very, very good prediction. I'm happy about that one. Because the Excadrill, it would have covered Toxic. And it covered, obviously, like the Volt Switch or Discharge or Parabolic Charge, whatever I wanted to go for. And now this Muddy Water should kill. They have some HP investment. I'm not 100% sure how much. I mean, even if they're like max HP, I guess technically they could be. They just go hard out to Snorlax. That's fine by me. Immunity could easily be on this thing. I'm just gonna Volt out. And I'm gonna go into my... I could go King Gambit, I could also go Scizor. But I think King Gambit's just a little bit better in this scenario. They have no Gengar. And they just Encore me. Okay. So I could Kowtow, I can Low Kick, which I'm not sure if they expect the Low Kick. But I think Kowtow is better to catch the Love Disc. Yeah, better Love Disc, the Aloe. I could also double out. How much is Kowtow doing to the Aloe? Not too much. I'm going to double out to Scizor. And then just click Knockoff for free. Because I really want to get rid of that Rocky Helmet. They yawn. Which is fine by me because I just get a free U-turn. I mean, it would be unfortunate if they're Protect, but they're not. And that does 1,000,000%. Holy. Yeah, they have no investment. Now, I could go Belly Bolt. I could go like Inteleon. Inteleon's really not doing too much though. I could also go Pecharunt, which is like a good mid-ground. But if they click Earthquake, then it's a little annoying. I can't really do too much back to it. I think I'll just go back to King Gambit. They could like click a fighting type move, but they just yawn again. I'm just gonna go back to Scizor. I mean, they go Love Disc. It's fine by me. I'm just gonna knock off that Rocky Helmet. They have a free Wish there, but I'm chilling into that. They could go Snorlax here. I don't really want to take a burn on anything. If I get crits with Snipe Shot, I can honestly take on this Aloe. Let's see. That knockoff did 28% with some item. So they could easily be like max Fizdef. That looks about right to me. I'm going to go out to Inteleon. If they go Snorlax, this would be an unfortunate play, but I think they just stay in and click Scald. They could also go to the Excadrill, which this would cover pretty well. Now, if they went into like Kilowattrel, that would be unfort. They do Flip Turn. Yeah, tough. And they get that Snorlax back up to full. Oh well. I can U-turn here, which would be good. If I get some Snipe Shot crits, though, I can do pretty good damage. I am worried about my Pokemon getting paralyzed. So I'm just going to click U-turn here. The Aloe and the Snorlax is going to be a little hard to break. If I get a Toxic on the Aloe, then that would be huge. Get the U-turn off. I'll go King Gambit this time, as they just yawn me. I mean, that's fine. I really don't want to let this thing go down, but if they're not Fizdef, then I could knock them out. How much did my U-turn do? It did about 12. I think there is a roll for this low kick to knock out the Snorlax. I'm going to go for it. It does. I get a crit. Depending on their investment, it's a roll. But, I mean, I'll give them the sorry. But now we get to see what happens with probably Iron Valiant. They could also have some sort of like setup Mew. Yeah, my calcs are showing that to like max HP and minimal defense that it does like 80 to 95-ish. So, I mean, it's a roll. I get the crit to keep it, but it's a roll in their favor if they are that max HP. But a lot of my other moves were doing a lot. Like that U-turn was like a pretty high roll. Yeah, I mean, it really was. My Volt Switch did about 12, so I mean, it seems like it's pretty SPDF. Yeah, they say crit mattered unless banned. I mean, at least they would have been like on 1, you know. I will not reveal to them about my my banded opportunities because I'm not banned. That would be a lot to be banded on this and the Scizor. It'd be kind of insane. I am worried about Iron Val. They do go Iron Val. No booster. And so if they're like Aura Sphere, we do have a good shot to kill. I mean, we have a good shot to live. But I mean, I just got put to sleep. I feel like Fire Punch is kind of a move that I could see here. Unless they're like banded. I think I can let this thing go down and just go Iron Head. Because I can always revenge with Scizor Bullet Punch. I mean, they could have Babiri. They are going to Calm Mind. I'm just going to stay in. I know at least like I can break a sub or like do some damage with Inteleon. They do just Aura Sphere me there. Babiri is probably very likely. But Scizor is my best option to just click that Bullet Punch. Kingambit's gone, which, I mean, would have been really nice to have for that Mew and the Kilowattrel, because Kilowattrel is looking very, very scary. Let's see what they decide to do. Knowing this thing isn't any sort of choice item and it's not booster is really nice. They go hard Kilo. Okay. We do 44. That's insane. And I mean, Terra Water, Terra Blast is not going to knock us out. I actually don't die to anything. But I want to keep this thing alive just in case Iron Val gets out of hand. How much does Belly Bolt take from like Terra Blast of water? Belly Bolt lives pretty well. They don't Terra. I wonder if they just go out to Excadrill. Yeah, I wonder what they do here. If they go anything else, I think I just click Toxic. The Aloe would probably be bait, but that's alright. I don't think they would actually risk it. That Volt Switch did 21. So actually, is that choice specs? Yeah, that's timid specs, I think. So specs on that Kilo. And that's gonna absolutely like destroy my team. Luckily, I think I can just win the game with Lottie if I ever get it out. Yeah, Lottie looks great. As soon as they Terra this thing, then Terra Ground on the Pecharunt also just destroys them. Right now, Hex looks pretty decent into them as well. And I definitely will outspeed this thing with Pecharunt. I'm glad I didn't stay in Bullet Punch because it would have just easily knocked me out. The Volt Switch actually could have been a roll with specs. Now let's see what they end up doing. I mean, if the Snorlax was alive at this point, they couldn't really go out to it because I would just take it out. Man, they do go out to this thing, which feels like such bait. But I'm going to Volt Switch anyways. I'm not going to Toxic because they could go Mew. And I really don't want it to be synchronized on me. Awesome. That is a huge chunk of damage. How much does a Terra Ground Terra Blast do? Actually a really good chunk. Inteleon also, if I just get the crit, then that like easily kills. I could also agility up with Lottie. You know, how much does Lottie do in general? It just knocks it out. I'm gonna go hard out to Lottie. I'm gonna click Mist Ball. If they protect, it's a good play. They could also go to Drill, which would be nice for them. It is kind of scary to bring this thing out so early, but I mean, it's kind of what I have to do. And Mist Ball should take this thing out, because I'm pretty sure it's Fizz Def. Let us see. I definitely do feel bad about the crit, but I mean, for all the games we had in Zero Zone, if you guys didn't see those, I mean, Aaron, he haxed me out in the playoffs. Come on, man. Like, what's the worst one crit can do to you? I mean, it is what it is. I just had a really, really unlucky game right before this, so maybe it's just like swinging in my favor a little bit. All right, one thing that I am a little bit worried about is the Mew. A defensive Mew can take on my Lottie because it has no chip on it, which, I mean, at this point is fine. How much is Drill taking from my Choice Banded Bullet Punch? It's a 2-hit KO. So honestly, like, I'm getting pretty close to being able to sweep. Oh, and giving me Kilowattrel is huge. If they go Iron Valiant, I just Agility. Because they are special. They're Calm Mindset. So if they're Modest Calm Mind, I mean, I guess they could knock me out. No, they can't unless they're like boosting boosting item. Like if they end up being like Fairy Feather, then I mean, it's still a roll. And then at that point, I do really well into their team. The Mew, how much would that take if I'm like +2 special attack? If I Terra Fairy Alluring Voice, then it's gonna do well over half. Just regular Alluring Voice is still gonna do a lot though. I could also just straight up Alluring Voice into this Iron Vow. They go Mew. That's actually scary. I actually hate that a lot. I am worried about like some sort of Dragon Dance set. Because I really like don't damage them well. They don't get Roost in this. I'm pretty sure they don't get Roost in Gen 9. I guess I might as well go check. Just so I don't like throw. Just gonna go like Terra Preview. Mew. I just really want to make sure. No Roost. Okay. They could be like some sort of rest set, but oh well. I'm just gonna Agility. As they set up spikes. So I can Terra Fairy Alluring Voice, or I could just click regular Alluring Voice. Which I think that's just a little bit better. It does absolutely nothing. And they're Haze. Okay. And they're Spadef 100%. Like, they have to be very Spadef. Luckily, I think that Inteleon is pretty decent still. I mean, Dark Pulse does a decent chunk. Snipe Shot is also just like kind of free versus their team. I will also just literally outspeed every single thing left. Could have also gone hard Pecharunt. I'm not sure if they have a psychic move. See, they knock off. So there goes my scope lens, which is annoying, but it's not that bad. But if I get a snipe shot crit, like, it's gonna do 1,000,000% to this thing and literally everything on their team. So I'm gonna snipe shot. They can go aloe. You know what? I'm just gonna U-turn because aloe is probably a good play for them. It was a good knockoff. They do go aloe. I'm gonna go belly bolt. And this turn, I'm going to click Toxic. I really don't think that they go out to the Excadrill. And if they go out to Mew, this is great. I don't mind getting synchronized Toxic at this point in the game. If they do go hard drill, we should live an Earthquake. And they definitely won't expect it because of our Shucka. Okay, they do just flip turn. They go Mew. Okay, I'm happy with that. Synchronize. Oh well. You know, it is what it is. I'm just going to Volt out. If they go Excadrill, I mean, that's a good play. They just knock off my Shucka. That's fine. And how much does Choice Band Bullet Punch do? Not enough, not even close. I think I just go Inteleon. And I just click Dark Pulse. As long as I keep this thing low, I should be in a good spot. I'll also be keeping Aloe kind of low. Just 30%, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, if I get a crit, like, I'm just in a great spot. They wish. I'm gonna Snipe Shot because it like has high crit chance and it does not get to kill. And they flip turn. So Aloe's super low. Excadrill, this thing must be scarfed to bring it in like that. I'm just gonna Snipe Shot again. We get to see here if it's scarfed. Nothing wants to take this Snipe Shot, not even Aloe. I think I just spam Snipe Shot until I die. If they're just like max HP, then they... Okay, never mind. They just go Aloe, which dies to a crit. High crit chance. Obviously unfortunate, but like it's a high crit chance. It's like 1/3 or something like that, maybe 1/6. And I have clicked it a couple times. So I feel like it's semi-fair. If they go into Iron Val, I think I just go hard into Scizor. Yeah. I mean, Bullet Punch is just really good. They go Mew, which is surprising. I have a good shot to flinch. Also, if I crit, I probably just kill. I mean, this thing does just beat the Excadrill. But I also kind of just beat it with Pecharunt. I'm just going to Dark Pulse. Flinch would be unfort for them. Alright. At this point, I think I go Scizor. No. How much does Terra Ground, Terra Blast from Pecharunt do? It doesn't kill. Hex definitely will. Then they bring in Drill. I think I just go for Bullet Punch. I just Bullet Punch until I die. If they go Drill, that's completely fine by me. They could be Calm Mind Agility, which on the Iron Val, which would be scary. That's the only thing that's scary at this point. If I let myself go down to that Drill. But if they end up like Swords Dancing in my face because they think that they're faster than everything, then I sack Belly Bolt and I go into my Scarf Pecharunt, Terra Blast Ground. Yeah, I mean, this is a kind of complicated endgame here, just depending on what they do right here. And they also, like, they could be scarfed on the drill. But at that point, I think Lottie wins. Honestly, I could just go hard Lottie if they go drill. Oh, they're Mold Breaker, so, I mean, they'll hit through the Levitate. Earthquake has a chance to kill if they're Jolly. I'm just going to Bullet Punch, get a good amount of chip, and they spin. Alright. I'm going to sack my Belly Bolt. I don't think they should spin again. They SD. Maybe they spin here and knock me out with spin. They Earthquake. Does Pecharunt live one? No, but it's a speed tie if they're max. So I'm going to go for it. I do. I win the speed tie if it was one. I mean, I'm pretty sure Latias eats a hit anyways. Yeah, Lottie always eats a hit. Or two. So I was never, like, at a super risk. Obviously, flinch with Iron Head was a risk. But now they go into the Iron Val, and I'll always just win with Scizor. So I'm pretty sure this game is over. I just Terra Blast Ground into them. I'm not even sure if they can knock me out if they have Psychic. I mean, it actually would never knock me out now because I'm Terra. So I'm pretty sure we got this in the bag. I mean, unfortunate with the crits. The Snipe Shot crit, I mean, what can you do? The one on Snorlax, probably a roll. Luckily, like, this stuff, it wasn't, like, horrible. It's not a playoff match, at least, that it happened in. So, I mean, I'll say that at least. I just stay in Terra Blast here. I don't want to, like, try to preserve differential if they're, like, some sort of agility set, or if they, like, click Fire Punch or something this turn. I should always just live, though. I don't think there's anything they can do. The craziest thing they could do is, like, sub Salic. But I still don't think they take me out. And if they Calm Mind, like, I won't knock them out with the next one, but they'll always die. They just Calm Mind again, so I mean, that's a throwing play. GG, I get the crit to boot. I mean, I definitely feel bad, some hacks in that battle, but a lot of it was either, like, very close or, like, I don't know, on Snorlax, a very small chance that it really mattered, because I just revenge kill that thing. It would be left at, like, 5% max based on the rolls, so literally anything on my team knocks it out in one shot. They could, like, potentially get a Wish passed into it, but I would kill it with, like, a Choice Band Scizor anyways. I think, I mean, I just had really good prep. I'm very sad that Lottie didn't get their time to shine, but, you know, oh well, we get the win. A methodical and slow battle, but we did it nonetheless. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in our Week 4 battle. Peace out.